Healing from grief. The thing about that is it's never easy. And I was sitting around thinking, do you ever really heal from grief? I want to share a little bit about my story, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. But this is something that I've never shared, especially publicly. It's something that's near and dear to my heart. For those that actually know me, they know that I built my own brand, Rejected Hearts Club, pretty much after the death and the passing of my brother. Welcome to another episode of Heartbreak To Healed. I am your host, Jamie Baptiste with Rejected Hearts Club, and we are going to start diving into new things with new guests, and I'm just excited to be here again. We took a break because basically of what I'm about to talk about today, which is healing from grief. The thing about that is it's never easy, and I was sitting around thinking, do you ever really heal from grief? I want to share a little bit about my story, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. But this is something that I've never shared, especially publicly. It's something that's near and dear to my heart. For those that actually know me, they know that I built my own brand, Rejected Hearts Club, pretty much after the death and the passing of my brother. It was very unexpected. Even when I sit here thinking about it, I'm trying to hold that in. When we go through things that are unexpected in life, I always say, how do you pick yourself back up? I started a brand, and within that brand, I kept that going because I knew that my brother would want me to keep going because he was my number one support, my biggest supporter of all times. So when you lose somebody that is not only close to your heart and your family, anybody that's close to you, it takes a huge hit and a huge change of life. And you think that life completely stops once this person is gone that you've been so close to. But unfortunately, the world keeps going. So how do you keep going? July 8th, 2011 was when my whole world and my family's world completely changed. I was at a corporate job, and unfortunately at that time, me and my mom weren't talking, didn't see each other, and we lived in the same city for about a year. And on this show, we do talk about sometimes, even with family members, you have to remove yourself from them just based on heavy situations or things that no longer suit you. So I'm sitting at my desk and I get a phone call and I see that it's my mom calling. After a year, it's a shock to see somebody that you haven't spoken to call you, ring your phone. My friend at the time's like, you better answer that. So I answer it, and my mom on the other line is just sitting there. I could tell something was wrong, but I wasn't sure. She's like, you need to get here now. You need to get here now. And she was with my brother. So I'm thinking maybe he was just at the hospital just doing a checkup because unfortunately he was having some health issues. So I'm trying to figure out where she is. She's at his house, and I'm driving down the road as fast as I can in order to get to my mom and see what's going on with my brother. But let's back up a little bit. It's always crazy how I feel you have certain signs in this life where you're just connected to people for some reason. And that morning I woke up and I thought to myself, this is going to be a super chill weekend. And I remember looking in the mirror and I'm like, I wonder if my brother knows how much I really love him. And I was going to call him that day and see if he wanted to go to the movies over the weekend. So as I am going back on this road, thinking all kinds of things in my head, something clicked in my mind and I'm like, what if my brother passed away? I'm like, no, that's stupid. Why am I even thinking that? So I pull up to his apartment and I see an ambulance, I see cop cars, still don't know what's going on. And then I'm trying to get through the gates of an apartment complex. So once I get in, I don't even see my mom yet. I see some random man that either is with the paramedics or cops or something. And he looks at me and he goes, "Are you here for the deceased?" I am mind blown because at that very moment, it's like, that cannot be real. This is not real. This is not my life. What is going on? Somebody's going to tell me this is a joke. Unfortunately, that was not a joke. And I end up seeing my mom. And at that point, what do you do? So my mom looks at me and she's just throwing her hands in the air and she's like, "We lost him. We lost him." That is a moment that right then and there is a time in my life and my family's life that it's just, you can't think that the unimaginable happens. So at that point, my mom's outside his door and somebody comes to me and they're like, "Do you want to identify the body?" What body? Like, this cannot be real. I walk in his apartment and there he is. And that's it. And I just remember looking at him and saying, "I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you." And this was a hot summer Texas day. And it's just my mom and I on a balcony staring at each other because this cannot be real. So, fast forward of how people say time heals all wounds. I don't know if you guys are a believer in that. I still struggle in some regards. At that time in my life, I was in my 20s. I went to work 3 days later. And from that point, I just kept myself super busy. And I'm the youngest child in my family. And unfortunately, I had to handle all of his everything. And you're putting that on a 20-some-year-old girl that's still trying to figure out her life, but I had to be responsible for my parents. So when I talk about healing from grief, people either continue to move on with their lives and be super busy, or you go down, it's depressing, you get therapy, you don't remember things to this day, even from thinking about the story that I'm sharing. There's bits and pieces that are completely gone from my mind that people tell me happened, and I don't remember that at all. So as you go through such tragic situations, no matter who it is in life, I want you to remember that you do have to take care of yourself and that it is okay. We all heal in different ways, different times. I strongly believe that there is no time limit as far as a grieving process, because even to this day, this morning I woke up, even I had a flashback of going back from 2011 from that day, and it wakes me up. And I try to always think about the good and positive memories of my brother. He is such a sweet soul. He's somebody that every time you think about him, everybody starts laughing. I carry him with me every day with the tattoo that I got on the back of my neck, and he lives in my home studio. And it's just something, again, that I just really hope people find peace within themselves when it comes to the healing process. And again, I'm not sure if you guys believe in the time heals all wounds aspects, but for me personally, it's a day by day thing, and different days, different things. One day you can be happy. One day you're just completely miserable and you're bawling your eyes out because you can't believe that this person is no longer with you. Another day, you're just remembering them and their presence and just knowing that you got to have all these special memories with them. So, what I want you guys to take away from this episode is be kind to yourself, be gentle to yourself, and you're not alone. It may feel that way. And sometimes we just need to remember the good in this life. After everything that happened in my world in that regard with my brother, just being able to carry on his legacy and his memory and still knowing that he is my biggest cheerleader, I carry that with me every single day. And even in Rejected Heart Club, I make sure that we give back. And I want to give back to basically foundations that are close to my heart. And he had a very, very rare disease called polymyositis. And I'll leave a link within this episode so you guys can read about it. But we make sure that there's proceeds that are donated to that for a good cause. So if you ask me, how do you heal from grief or how do you heal from that pain? Again, it's a day-to-day thing, and you can either keep yourself laser focused and continue to move forward. You can dwell within the moment and know that that's okay. Again, I will repeat, please take care of yourself. And there's no time limit on grief. There's just really not. You're always going to miss whoever that is that's been in your life that is no longer there, but just carry them with you in your heart every single day. Some of the top ways to heal from grief is allow yourself to cry, to be in the moment. Know that it's okay. Nobody's going to take that away from you because you're already suffering the pain of somebody that has been taken away from you. Allow yourself to laugh. Think of the good memories, like I was mentioning earlier. It's okay. And some of those memories might lead into some tears as well because they're funny and you miss that person and you miss the funny laughs. Also, give yourself time. It's okay to take time, as much time as you need. Make sure that you surround yourself around people that understand, especially your emotions are going to get crazy at times where you don't even know that maybe you're angry, maybe you're sad, maybe you're laughing at the wrong times, but it's okay. I also want you guys to remember to take care of yourselves in regards to any kind of loss. At the end of the day, know that it's okay to not be okay. And I want you to go back, think about all these special memories in your heart. If you're truly suffering from grief in this moment, know that I understand and know that people around you understand and that you are loved. Thank you for listening to this episode. And I hope to be back with a lot more, but I just wanted to share a brief little story, very personal and close to my heart. Thank you for listening to Heartbreak to Healed. Thank you for listening to my story and leave us some comments. And I'd love to hear you guys' stories and give you guys a nice little virtual hug. Loves.